This tutorial is going to take you step by step through the line tile painting project. So I'm going to be going through the PDF tutorial that is already up and there for you, but I'm going to do it in video form. So our first thing, we're going to log into Citrix. The link to get to citrix.com.ecsdm.org is on the daily slide. It's there at all times. It's the Citrix icon. So you're going to click that. You're going to log in as usual. First part of your @MIDI-Pride email, and then your password is your Chromebook password. So we still get to here, click desktops, still click PLTW Lab desktop. Then this will pop up down here. Click show in folder, let it load. Double click on the run file and let that connect you to a school computer. Once you're in the school computer, you are using, that's from my last project that I was doing. I don't want to save it. Okay, so you'll get to the school desktop like so. Remember, you are using Google Chrome from here to get, if you need images, if you're going to hand something in, it needs to be done through the school Chrome, okay? But this project can be entirely done in Photoshop, and there are no photos. This is quote-unquote painting. This is drawing, all right? So for this assignment, and remember, we go back and reference our tutorial if we are unsure, right? So I tell you to go to Photoshop and make an 11 by 11 inch file. So I go back and I create new, and I make an 11 by 11 inch file, and I'm going to call it line tile painting. Create. Okay. So always have your layers panel open, window, layers. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the tutorial, then we go to the next step. So again, have your layers panel open. Now you're going to choose a background color. Okay, so for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to make it black. You can make it any color you want. Okay, entirely up to you. But think in the end what kind of colors you want your whole line tile painting to be. If you want to do cool colors, pick a cool color. You want to do warm colors, pick a warm color. Black totally works. The only color I will not accept is white. Okay, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to move my toolbar over so you can see, using the paint bucket. So if we go down on our toolbar and then we see this gradient tool right here, click and hold. Paint bucket. Choose the paint bucket. Down here at the bottom of the toolbar, you'll see these two squares. That's where you would choose a different color. You can move everything here. Choose exactly what color you want. Again, I'm going to go with black. And then we unlock our background. So just click on the lock and then fill it in. Okay. Back to the tutorial. Next step. Yep, I just went through making your background black. You can also you can leave your background there and then go ahead and do a new layer and put that as your black. Either way, it works. Okay, so I'm going to go back because now we're going to start using the brush tool. We have not used this tool yet. So add a new layer. So you got your black background. Each line that you draw will be on a separate layer. So that is very important that you click on the plus at the bottom of the layers panel to make a new layer. I'm going to go over here. This is my brush tool. We click it. I'll move this out of the way for now. And then notice up top, you can change the size of your brush. You can change the hardness or softness, and you can change the effect of the brush. So let's choose our first color. Yeah, by the way, this here, you can click there and it'll do a side by side. All right, so I'm going to double click. I'm going to go with this lovely green as my first color. I have my brush tool selected. I'm going to boost the size. So a hard brush looks like that. A soft brush looks like that. See the difference? See the line quality difference? So when I grade, I'm going to be looking for different qualities of line. All in these folders here are all different kinds of brushes. Okay, like here's this one, for example. Again, you can change the size of the brush. See how it kind of looks like chalk? I'm going to make that a little bit bigger so you can see. See? Looks like chalk. I actually like that quite a bit, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Every single line that you draw needs to touch two ends some way. So if I start here and I draw my line, this is a very free form kind of thing, but I need to make sure that I start it on one side and end it on another side. Okay? So go back to the tutorial and let's see where we're at. I drew my line. I explained everything about the panel. So now we are going to draw 5 lines, all different colors and different line qualities. They need to be touching two sides. Okay, so your layers panel, when you're done with this part, will look like this. You'll have a layer per line. So I'm going to go ahead and demo another line. New layer. Brush tool still selected. I'm going to go through and choose another option. Okay, pick a different color. I'm going to make it all blues and greens. Like, okay, I'm going to change the size, and maybe I do more zigzags this time. I start on one edge, end on another. Next line. I think I'll go back to a normal kind of brush and change the color. Double click on the swatch. Maybe I'll go more of a darker blue. Yeah, you can choose anywhere. Okay. And I made my new layer, so I'm like, okay. Just gonna do that. So I have 3 lines, 3 different line qualities. We're going for 5. So let's do purples. Yeah. Okay, I go back up to my brush panel and I take a look. That might be interesting. Ah, yeah. The special effects brushes at the bottom aren't always necessarily a brush. So if the thing you pick doesn't work, just pick a different one. There are plenty of options. Something like that, maybe. Maybe I'll try the zigzag again. Maybe I'll start here. Oh, yep. And the brush I picked is still not technically a brush. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to go back to my standard brush. Make it soft. Make it a bit bigger. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. I like that soft quality that's there. Okay. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. I need one more. So I think I'll go back to maybe my greens. Make it a darker green. And I'll do a nice crisp brush. Make it a little thick. And I think I'll zigzag. Okay. So now I have a line tile that has 5 different lines, different colors, different line qualities, and I have a background. So let's go back to our tutorial and see where we're at. All right, so now we are going to be adjusting at least 3 of those 5 lines that you just made by adding different effects to them. So let's go through some. So, number 1, choose a line that you're going to adjust. So I'm going to pick that one. Then the FX panel is right here. So we click that. And these are all options. Not all of them work too well, but I'll go over the ones that work the best. So let's start with stroke. Stroke is a fancy art word for outline. So I'm going to click it. And just move the panel over so I can see the effect. Okay. I think I'm using, yeah, it's that line. Okay, so number one, you want it to be, well, I'll show you both. Outside is usually preferable. I'm going to make a white outline so I can change the color. And then the size. See that line? See that happening back there? Adds an outline. Okay. You can change the opacity, meaning the see-throughness of it. See that? Okay. You can also do an inside, but then it depends. If your line is thick enough to have a stroke on the inside, you can do that, but usually outside is a better choice. Okay, so that is stroke, like so. Let's do another FX option. Let's do outer glow. Okay, so I want the blend mode to be normal. I honestly forget which line I chose to do the demo here, but okay, it's the blue one. So see the size? See that glow that's happening? Right now it's white. I can make it like a lime green or something. See that? See that glow? Yellow might be an interesting addition. Ooh, yeah, see that? Okay. Same with the opacity. You can make it darker, lighter. Okay. So that's outer glow. Let's choose this line. Let's add a shadow to that. Let's do drop shadow. Change it from multiply to normal. Start with the size. Start with the spread. See that shadow? What's happening? The distance. Change the opacity. See that? You can do the angle. Change that here. See, it changes where it casts the shadow. Okay, so click. And again, you can change the shadow color. I'm going to leave it black for now. All right. So I've changed 3 different lines. That is the requirement. But you can add multiple. You can change the effect on all your lines if you'd like. The requirement is 3. You could do all 5. Now looking at this right now, I think I want my sketchy line, this one, I think I want it at the top. It's kind of hidden and I like that line. So I'm going to click and drag and move it to the top. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And say you don't like one of your lines, colors, like I don't like this line color. I don't think it came out okay. You can erase the line. You can get rid of the layer if you want, or you can do image, adjustments, hue and saturation, and you can change it from there. Maybe I just want it lighter. Maybe I make it a lot darker. No. You can also click colorize. Make it a bit brighter, perhaps. Ooh, I kind of like that. Okay, we'll go with that. Okay, so now I go back to my tutorial and I see where we're at. So I showed you stroke. I added in showing you here another option, bevel and emboss. So you can take a look at this slide if you want to try that. Drop shadow. Okay, so now we're here. So now when I'm done adjusting my lines, I'm going to merge the layers together, meaning I'm going to glue them together. So we're going to go back. I'm going to click my top layer, then go down to the bottom, and I'm going to hold down Shift on the keyboard. Hold down Shift on the keyboard, click on the bottom layer. Click this button here, merge the layers. And now it's all one thing. Okay, so I go back to my tutorial. I go from there. Yeah. So I recommend now, if you click and drag this layer to the new layer icon, just in case something happens, like while you're making your tile and you lose something, you still have a copy of your tile to start. Okay. We can turn the eyeball off on it for now. We're going to work here. Okay. So now that I have that copy, I'm going to Control T. Okay. And then you notice at the top where it says 100% width, 100% height, change that to 50. Okay. Then use the Move tool to move it. And you can use the arrow keys as well to pop it into the top left-hand corner, like so. Okay? We keep going. So now we make a copy, click and drag, of that smaller tile, like so. Move it over. Now you see how it doesn't match up yet? It's about to. Okay? Edit, transform, flip horizontal. Edit, transform, flip horizontal. Now it's going to line up. You make it fit as best you can. In the end, we're going to like crop out if there's any like extra edges here that are showing. We'll do that at the end. But line it up so that your lines are kind of continuing, like so. Okay? So we keep going. Make a copy of that tile. Edit, transform, flip vertical. So I click and drag. Edit, transform, flip vertical. And then I move it down. See how it's starting to line up? Like so. Click and drag that one down to the new layer icon. Edit, transform, flip horizontal. Move it over. Line it up as best you can. I'm clicking on the layer and then I'm using the arrow keys on my keyboard to line things up like so. Okay? See? We line it up. All right, so now we're going to start changing colors on two of the tiles. So I'm going to start with my top right hand tile, which I already have selected. I'm going to do Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation. And this is a project requirement. You're going to choose another color scheme, another color palette. Okay, we'll go with that one. You can change the saturation. You can change the lightness, darkness. This is all just personal preference here. I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to do that to the opposite corner. So again, Image, Adjustments, Hue and Saturation, and change it. Okay? Like so. See that? Okay. So now we're going to merge all of those layers together. So click on that top layer, hold down Shift, click on the bottom layer. This was just in case you still needed it. Click that button, merge the layers. Now, we're going to use the crop tool right here. Crop. And we're just going to bring it in so that we are getting rid of any of those extra edges. Center. Keep doing that until you get your edges how you want them. Okay? Enter. Okay. Now again, before you merge your layers, I'm trying to not take too much time during the tutorial. See that kind of like crack in the middle? Please just make sure when you're moving your tiles together that you are making sure that that is not visible. You got to make sure they're all covering, right? So make sure that happens. Then last step. This is the last step. You go to filter, filter gallery. We'll zoom out. We're going to apply a filter over top of the whole thing. Okay. In all of these folders are different filter options. So say I click sponge. See? You can change the brush. You can change anything about each filter over on the panel over here. I can't tell you which one's going to look good for your tile. It's up to you. Once you find one that you like, say I like that one. Don't like it so much, but I'll go with it. You click OK. Then you do File, Save As, save on your computer, change it from Photoshop to JPEG. This PC, scroll down, your drive, open, save. I don't want to replace it because I like my other one better, but you would save it, and then you're going to go to Google Classroom and hand it in under the assignment. If you need me, reach out in an email.